we know it's a tough go with the last 5 home games. We know in 3 of those games you had a lead. I know you're not trying to give leads away and stuff, but what do you think is happening in some of those moments that have shifted it for the other team?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a tale of, you look at the 5 games we've lost at home, we've probably been in control of most of them and played for the most part fairly well. I think last night was a bit of a microcosm of what's been happening. We play well, and then you let it, instead of being up 2 and controlling the game, you go bang, 10, 15-minute stretch, you're chasing by 2, and it seems to be biting us in different ways. We'll be taking too many penalties one night, odd man rush another night. Last night, probably box outs, D zone, and so we've got to find a way to, we do it at times. We play, consistent throughout the game, and we find ways to do it. But then there's times where different areas of our game just aren't good enough. And last night it was, our box outs and our D zone, and we let us down. So we've got to. We had a good meeting in here, really good hard practice, good skate, and there's only one way through it is communication and hard work, and we certainly did that today.
Does this team miss Mike Smith's fire?
Yeah, I think any team's lucky to have Mike Smith on their team, and
his whole demeanor, his whole fire.
I understood you. Yeah, no, Smitty's he's a competitor and a guy that wasn't afraid to hold guys accountable, and we lost a lot of kind of big presences, a lot of games that a lot of veteran, and but it's our turn now. It's the guys that are left in this room who are the leaders to maybe step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and become the guy that's gonna be fired up and hold guys accountable. So even if it's hard.
So that's Duncan Keith would fit into that category as well, a veteran guy that when he spoke, I'm sure everyone listened.
Yeah, and Rusty too, and older guys. We lost a lot of older guys, and it's a good learning curve for us older guys now who are the leaders, and it comes more naturally to some guys, the fiery part of it, but a part of being a good pro and a good leader is stepping outside of maybe what you're used to get different results.
So when we you watch a movie and everyone's standing up and having these big speeches, and I know it doesn't work that way. However, is it necessary to have sometimes a guy stand up in the room or raise his voice or make a pointed comment? Does a good team need someone holding everyone accountable once in a while?
Yeah, and I think you guys don't know what goes on in here obviously throughout games, but I mean we've had guys stand up in the past in prior years and say stuff, and the end result's the same, and I don't think you can just point to we're missing one guy who yells at guys or anything like that. It's at the end of the day, it's mistakes on the ice, it's preparation, it's all these things that are going into it, and at the end of the day, last year when we were playing well and we were feeling good and we were on a run, we could feel it in the room. We could feel all parts of our game were connected and together, and we've done it for brief moments this year, but if we want to rattle off 5, 6, 10 in a row and put ourselves in that playoff picture without a question, we're going to have to find a way to settle in and have everything kind of come together cohesively, all 3 zones. And I don't know if it's as simple as having one of my favorite teammates ever, but a goalie stand up and yell at you. So there's a lot of answers that we're going to find in here.
Are you that kind of guy? Have you stepped out of your comfort zone in the past and said, hey, I don't like this? Yeah,
I mean, I was a captain in Kelowna when I was in junior, and that came with new challenges for me, and you're always learning, and last year I learned from Dunks and Smitty and guys, and I'm a pretty easygoing, carefree guy, but it's I'm second oldest guy on the team now, and they look to me for leadership, and if I've got to step up and say something or be the bad guy, I'm certainly not afraid to do that either.
So this team right now is pretty close to where it was last season, maybe a couple of games worse. You turned it around on a dime, but it took firing the coach. How do you get to that level again without a landmark?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's got to be, when these guys came in last year, it was a belief in the systems and the lessons they were preaching, and we were thirsty for a system, and I think we've got to have that belief in what they're preaching and put it to work out there.